Hello and welcome back to another installment of What If Ben 10 Got the Ultramatrix. Now, I know it's been a while. It's been a rather long while. I got over 100 subscribers while I was gone. And that's quite a big number of people who like to watch my ramblings into the insane void that is the internet. Now, let's get on to the story. And as always, if you liked the video, be sure to let me know. I'll cover this over in the end, don't worry if you forget, like all YouTubers decide to do. Now, where we last left off, All Might burst into the room and told everyone to get ready and put on their hero costumes. And just as this happens, a thing on the wall shoots out some suitcases that have their seat number that correlates to the person who their hero costume is supposed to be. In this timeline, Deku did have a hero costume, but I will get to that in just a second. So, as their way on to Battleground B, they put on their hero costumes, and everyone's is the same as normal, except Deku's. A lot of people said he should have his original costume. A lot of people said he should have stuff like original Ben 10 did, like the OG Omniverse, but I like this idea. I'm going to combine them just a little bit to make a pretty cool hero costume. Now, he has the leather jacket that Ben 10 had in Ultimate Alien Force, but it's going to lead up into a sort of leather bunny hoodie, like in his original costume design, that has some sort of fluffy inline that's just added flavor on top of that, along with his metal mask that's separate from the leather jacket. That's still going to be, I think that's iconic Deku, and he's going to have some pouches on his belt just so that he has something to do when his Omnitrix has timed out. That right there will contain some smoke bombs, some other things that will help him get away while his Ultramatrix recharges. I also do not believe that Deku will get his metal boots in this timeline because he has no reason to break his legs. Well, not his legs, his arms, considering that is what he mainly did, trying to emulate All Might and putting every ounce of power he had into his punches. Anyway, on to the training. All Might says that they will be doing mock battles. Some people will be split into groups of villains, some will be split into groups of heroes. The villains will have a nuke, and the heroes will try to disarm it. If the heroes touch the nuke, they technically disarm it, and if they capture the villains, they win. If the villains run down the timer, they win. Here, I will not be changing any team compositions. It's still going to be Todo and Shoji versus Ojiro and Invisible Girl. I will, however, be changing the events that happen as per every other What If that gives Deku some sort of superpower. Here, everything goes the same until they meet Bakugo, which is quite early in the episode. Here, he immediately goes in the big chill and proceeds to start fighting with Bakugo while Ochaka runs forward and does the plan. Here, he's mostly remaining intangible so Bakugo can't hit him and he can't hit Bakugo while he's constantly taunting him, getting him angrier and angrier and angrier until his Omnitrix sort of times out. The reason why I'm giving Deku the timeout feature is because in Alien Force and in Ultimate Alien, he unlocked Master Control, and that's why he had unlimited time in those forms. In the original, the reason why I didn't keep him in the alien state for as long as he wanted, because it damages the user's DNA for being in an alien too long. That's why Kevin turned into that weird amalgamation of all of Ben's aliens when he tried to absorb stuff from the Omnitrix. And it is canon that only the creator of the Omnitrix can unlock Master Control to the person wielding it. So I really don't think Deku's going to be Albedo anytime soon. And I'm not quite sure if I ever want to include him in the series instead of just giving Deku the Ultramatrix. At this point, when Deku comes out of Big Chill, Bakugo is furious. He's enraged. He is about to murder Deku. He brings his big gauntlet, points it right at Deku, and this is where we're going to cut to Ochako. Things here go pretty much the same as usual, with very minor changes, and we're going to get to those right now. As soon as Bakugo is about to pull the trigger, All Might threatens that he'll be expelled if he pulls it. Deku, knowing that he's not going to survive this, if this actually happens, he rushes towards Bakugo and points his gauntlet up towards the ceiling, Bakugo being so angry he's blinded with rage, he's not really seeing this coming. And this creates the gigantic explosion that would normally give Ochako the go-ahead to in order to grab the nuke. And they win due to this. But as per the original, Tenya does get the MVP award, mainly because he acted the most like a villain. He adopted his role. He became the villain. There are a bunch of different ways that this scenario could have gone down, but most of them were boring. He could have went nanomech, just flew through, grabbed the nuke after transforming back. That's one and done. Same thing with Big Chill, just fly through the walls. Grab it. Same thing with Ghost Freak. Just grab it. But none of those are fun. So this is the thing that happened. And it's also pretty much for story reasons because Deku really wants to prove himself to not only Bakugo but to the rest of his class, since he still does have that complex about him. Like I said, 80% of normal Deku self-consciousness levels. In this timeline, his hero name stays exactly the same. His name is still Deku because Bakugo still called him that at a young age, and he wants to make it be a hero name. The Deku who always tries his best, as he says in the anime. A day passes, and now they're trying to decide on who is the class president. Everyone, of course, in this timeline nominates Deku since they all really like him. He has a powerful quirk, and he'd just be a general good class representative. Deku, of course, gets voted in after they do the whole voting system. Deku doesn't want to be the class president, but since he was voted in, he's put there for a reason by his classmates. He's not going to argue much, at least not for right now. Now, while they're sitting in class, they start to hear alarm bells ringing that someone has broke into UA. Everyone starts panicking. They go into the hallway. Tenya, Izuku, and Ochako are being pushed around by the other students until Tenya gets an idea. He looks to Ochako, says, "Make me fly." He lands onto the sign as usual and starts shouting, but this time no one can hear him. People are shouting way too loud, and that's when Deku gets an idea. He's like, hey, one of my aliens is very sound-based and very loud. Maybe if I get up there where Ida is and I shout, everyone will hear me. So he does just that. He transforms into Echo, proceeds to wall jump and use his various enhanced agility powers in order to get up there, and he shouts down, breaking or at least making a crack through a window, considering how loud he's being. Everyone calms down and they're holding their ears since Echo is very loud, and this is the first time he's ever used the alien, so he can't really quite control the volume of his voice. When they meet in class next, everyone is very cemented on their opinion that Deku should be class president for what he did that day. He was a good leader, he took charge, and even Deku himself is kind of like, yeah, I did. Maybe being class president was what I was meant to be. I mean, it'll help me get better scholarships. It'll help me get into better hero organizations when I finally get out there and become a hero. He's looking at this very objectively, and also a little bit of the flattery has gone to his head. Just a little bit. This is where we're going to cut to the meeting room where All Might and the other teachers at UA are meeting about the news organization break-in. They say that a wall was disintegrated, and that's where one of the news reporters got in. That meeting goes pretty much the same since there is no inklings that there is a UA traitor just quite yet. So there's just one wall, and many people have various emitter-type quirks that it could have been anyone. It could have been the reporter who walked in. It could have been someone that the reporter hired to do this. They just really don't quite know, since the place that the wall broke was where there was little to no cameras, and anyone could figure out where the cameras are if they had enough time to case the joint, which it's a stationary school. It's not really going to be moving anywhere. I think this is a good stopping point, at least for right now. Next time on the series will be the USJ attack. I have a few things planned for that one. I do not think I will be implementing things like albedo in this timeline, like make Shigaraki the equivalent to Ben 10's albedo for Deku, considering that would imply that he was once a gray matter type species. I don't quite remember what their species is called off the top of my head just quite now, and I doubt anyone else does unless they are a bigger nerd about Ben 10 than me, which is very, very quite possible. Anyway, as always, if you liked the video, be sure to like it, tell me what you you liked about it. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike and tell me what you didn't like about it. I want to improve. I mean, there's a few commenters down there that corrected me on a few things that I did fail to explain, which is why I explained the time limit in this episode and the Ultimate Wrath thing. I thought that was a albedo exclusive ultimate form, but thinking it over in my head now, why would it be albedo exclusive? Because the Ultramatrix is just making it the peak evolution of that species, so that was a little bit of bad logic on my mind. And if you're somewhere middling, just be sure to tell me anything about your day. How's your day going? I'm quite excited to hear about it. Anyways, I will see you all next time in What If Deku Got the Ultramatrix. Have a very swell day.